Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to the stage Marcella Ellis. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Marcel. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to Hustle and Grow.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I think it's very appropriate to have you as one of my first guests because you've been so impactful on your industry. A lot of people don't understand how tough it is to be in the beauty industry. Like, what made you even take that route?
You know what? I believe that it was a calling because I've been in the beauty. Well, I was a hairstylist, of course, at a very young age, like 15 years old, basically, cousins, friends. And then I went to Howard to actually become a lawyer. But the whole time I was at Howard, I was doing hair. So I had, in my dorm room, pretty much myself and my roommate to make extra money. We turned that into a whole salon. So literally, we partied at Howard. I love Howard, by the way, but we partied a lot. We did hair. And, my mom was like, listen, if you want to do this hair, you should go into the beauty industry. And I kind of thought that my parents wouldn't like the fact that I was not going to be an attorney and go into the beauty industry. But my mom was okay with it. She's like, listen, they're millionaires and you can do anything. And because if that's what you really want to do, you can create your own path. So I did that.
Wow,
And
that's incredibly inspiring. So hold up, let's go back to that. So you're in law school and clearly you're killing it doing hair. So where was that moment where you were like, you know what, listen, I'm going to take my own path? I mean, because that's a big deal. I mean, you're going
yeah.
to law school, and I'm sure, like you said, we all have had that pressure from our parents. But for you to just say, okay, I'm going to take this avenue based on whatever I'm experiencing at the moment. Talk to me about that. Like, what made you just
Yeah,
go?
it
I'm
wasn't
going.
really, I wasn't in law school yet. So I was still an undergrad at Howard, and that was my
Okay,
path. So
okay,
eventually, when my mother gave me the okay to go into the beauty industry, the hair industry, I switched my major to business. So I really
smart.
wanted to understand how to manage and operate, because then my plan changed from being a lawyer to owning a school, a cosmetology school, right? Because I'm
Wow.
like, okay, I'm going to the hair business. I'm going to open up these salons. I was really doing all this for my parents, the school, and all of that, right, to make them
Uh huh.
happy. But I wanted to learn and understand business. So I switched my major. I mean, yeah, at Howard. So I hadn't gone into, but that was where I was going. That was where I was headed. Just being able to be in a creative space, I think it comes natural for me, so just going into the hair industry, it was easy. It was just an easy transition. So that's where I
Wow.
started. Yeah.
It sounds like that just felt like the natural path for you to take. And I think
Mhm.
that's important for my audience to understand that, when you choose to be an entrepreneur, it's almost like it chooses you as well. Like, it's
Mhm.
so interesting that you had that experience in school, but I had the similar experience too, where I was basically renting out my townhouse and making more money renting out my townhouse. And I'm like, wow, this is covering my rent. I'm making money. So let me purchase more houses, right? Same thing. You're killing it doing hair at school and you're figuring out, hold up, this is lucrative. This is something I love. And then you took that path. So I think that's important for people to understand because when sometimes people ignore that calling, they hear
Mhm.
it, it's telling them this is what they should do, but they continue to do their 9 to 5 and eventually they cheat themselves.
That's right. That's so
Yeah.
true.
What were some of like the challenges when you were coming out of the gate and you were like, okay, I'm going to pursue, this industry? Like, what do you remember being like your challenges, like when you had to step through the gate?
So when I graduated from hair school, I loved hair school, by the way. I mean, I had so much fun there. I don't know if it's because we had so much fun or I just loved the atmosphere, whatever it was. I really enjoyed cosmetology school. We were creative. We were doing a lot of hair shows. It was just fun for me. And so when I graduated from cosmetology school, I wanted to open up a cosmetology school, right? So then
Gotcha.
I went through the whole process with the state of Maryland and Higher Education Commission, and got to the point where I had to write the curriculum, I had to write up everything, and then get its approval, right? So I had just bought my first house, because I bought my first house, pretty young with at the time. So I didn't have any equity in it. So I wasn't able to get a loan to open up this school. So then I had to change my plan. Plan B was to open up salons and then gather up enough money to then open up the school. So I kind of, went into the salon business, opened up my first salon, ended up being acquired. I went through acquisition process at early on in my 20s. So my first salon, I opened up a string of salons. I opened up 6 salons throughout Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Just kind of evolved education. Yeah. Realized I could have possibly opened up the school in Virginia quicker than in Maryland because the rules were so much. It was just different to open up the school in Maryland as opposed to Virginia. So as I was opening up salons and went through the whole process of opening up a salon in Virginia, I realized how much easier it was to open a cosmetology school in Virginia. And that's how I opened the school. So.
Wow, that's a great pivot too. See, again, I always talk to my audience about adjusting and adapting. So that's incredibly important that you couldn't do the school. So you were like, okay, let me pivot, let me open up salons. And that's what makes you special and makes you a mogul already, because you didn't say I opened up 1 or 2. She's saying plurally, people, salons. That's my girl right there. She's not playing. She don't do things on a small level. So that's a incredible transition. So now I know that you went into distribution. Tell me a little bit more about how you decided to take that lane.
So here's the funny thing. Early on, I had advisors that were really family because I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, right? My parents owned a construction company. My grandparents owned, they had their own catering business. My aunts and uncles, they own, what do you call it? The assisted living programs. I just come from a long list of entrepreneurs. So I was told, allow your business to force you to move or grow. Right? So don't go jump out there and get all, you don't have any clients or any customers. Allow your business to force you to get bigger. Right? So as I opened up the different salons, there was a need because I had clients that were coming in from different places, mainly Virginia. And that's why I ended up opening up a salon in Virginia. One of my clients begged me, actually, she became my salon manager. And she said, you have to open up a location in Virginia. And so I did that, and I just allowed the business to just force me to grow. So with that being said, we had a lot of clients that were coming in from different areas. We were doing procedures and techniques that other salons wanted to learn. There was an article that came out about me in Black Enterprise magazine, full page article. And they talked about, what we were doing as far as the skills were concerned. So then we had even more customers that were coming in from different cities and states. And as they were going back home, because we were doing things like the lace wigs and all of that, we were doing that 15 years ago, right? Wow. Micro linking, all of these advanced procedures, we were doing that a long time ago. And so other salons will call us and ask us, can you train us? So I eventually went on a city to city tour for 3 years. I toured for 3 years. And we would go to other cities. We would set up this big class. I had a partnership with the Marriott hotels. We did all of our training inside of these classrooms, and we would invite the salons. They would pay, they would register, they would come in and learn these techniques. So that evolved into a 1,500-hour program, cosmetology program in Virginia. That's when I opened the school. And then that evolved into a partnership with L'Oreal, where we scaled our education to all of their locations. And we have classrooms that we teach in the back of their stores, because the L'Oreal stores, SalonCentric stores, they are professional stores. So we teach all of those classes in those locations. So it's just taking on a life of its own. We just kind of, eventually evolved from service to education. And then we'll talk about the distribution, I guess, in a second. But then we went into distribution as well. So.
Wow. So you guys are covering the whole gamut. So where can my audience find your products?
So our products are located in SalonCentric. If you're a licensed hairstylist, 556 locations nationwide. We're in Sally Beauty, 900 locations nationwide. We are launching in JCPenney with our procedures, our techniques, and our products in 2024. So we got a little distribution, and then beauty supply stores, of course, some of your local beauty stores, not all of them, but we do have a list on our website where you can find them, and then on our website. So yeah,
That girl's putting them to sleep. Y'all heard that, right? Like, come on, I can't even keep up with all of that. Like, Marcella is doing it. I got nothing but love for you, girl. So,
Thank
if there
you.
was a tip that you can give people that are in beauty industry, like if you had a tip for people that are in the beauty that want to get into the beauty industry, actually, what would be your advice?
Education is big in our industry, right? You have to go to school, get your license. Number one, you need to be licensed because you don't want your customers suing you because you don't have a license. And that is, I've seen a lot of them on these judge shows where these people are suing hairstylists. So make sure you're licensed. Make sure you know the education behind what you're doing and setting up your business. That would be my advice. Start there. Start with getting a good education and a
Just
solid
make sure that you
foundation.
legitimize yourself, right? You just want to make
Exactly.
sure you're legally covered on all levels. Because, like you said, you're dealing with the public, so you don't want to
Yes.
get exposed. So I totally understand that piece of advice. What's next for Marcella Ellis?
So what's next? Right now, I'm trying to. We are really, really trying to um, distribute our products. Target, Walmart, Walgreens. We're trying to expand upon our distribution, our hair care products. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to stay laser focused. These other opportunities are always falling in my lap, but I have to stay focused right now because this is really, really a big task. It's a
Yeah,
huge
you taking
task.
on something big. Yeah, that's not small. So I mean, definitely where you are right now. Most beauty owners, they aspire to be there. So I mean, you're definitely pushing it forward. I want to congratulate you because I mean,
Thank you.
again, you are just a forward thinker. You're always breaching to the next level, and I think you're a perfect person for individuals to reach out to if they really want to understand what it takes to be successful in beauty. So how do they find you?
They can find us on the website, marcellaellis.com. We also have our Instagram page is Marcella Ellis Products and then Marcella Ellis _school. So we have two Instagram pages. One is for the products and then the other one is for our school. We train nationwide. We have 4-week programs that we run them consecutively all year round. And so you can find that information on our website as well. So yeah, either our Instagram or our website.
Well, Marcella, I want to thank you for spending some time with me. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate every moment you just gave me because I know your time is very important. So, if you ever need me, you know where to find me. And again, I just want to appreciate you that like give you your roses right now because you really are doing your thing.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you. Love your show. I can't wait to see this, syndicated.
Yeah, we're gonna do our thing here. Trust me, I'm bringing all the brilliant minds, and that's what I'm saying. Starting with you sets the tone. So don't come on this show unless you're bringing it. That's the way we do things
Okay.
here. All right, girl. But you take
All
care of
right.
yourself, and
You
I'll talk to you
too.
soon.
All
Okay.
right. Bye
Bye.
bye.